I'm Eric Guthey from the Copenhagen Business School, and this is another Accelerator on Demand video. I'm sitting with two members of the restaurant and hospitality community mentioned already. CBS is forging a set of partnerships and collaborations with that community and that industry to figure out ways to respond to the COVID-19 crisis. Kamilla and I have been working together in the context of a group that we call Bowline, which is a group of chefs, scholars, friends who came together in the middle of the COVID crisis, literally started meeting on Zoom to try and figure out what was happening and how we could help. And what we want to talk about in this video is ways that the restaurant industry in Copenhagen is adapting and changing now in a manner that will create capabilities towards the future. So, describe a little bit, as background and context, what it was like to be an owner of a restaurant and have the COVID crisis hit you in the face.
I think I can speak for most restaurant owners is that it was scary. Mostly, and most fear is based on uncertainty, and this whole thing was an uncertain moment in time for all of us. This restaurant's never closed outside of vacation time, and when you close your restaurant, you're standing in the middle of your restaurant, and you're just kind of looking around saying, this restaurant might never open again.
Restaurants are based on this apprenticeship model that is 100 years old.
Pre-modern.
And we're not identifying leaders as much as really talented cooks or really talented servers. Should we maybe look at different ways to cultivate leaders in our industry? Could we learn a little bit more from academia or from modern business structures and try to grow our industry in a more stable way? Because right now it's not.
See, because there's no model for doing leadership development in culinary context.
Yeah.
We academics, we people who do leadership development could learn from what you guys do. And then we said, well, let's do a survey first.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden it went crazy. I mean, we got you guys involved. So we got 5 student volunteers from CBS involved.
Yeah, Eric just put out the call, said we need some help. We're going to be working with all these really cool restaurants in Copenhagen to see what the industry is doing. I personally was so interesting to see how you guys would reformat and re-strategize and what was happening around the world and come out of this. And Eric picked a group of us who had some experience in surveys, and we knew that we wanted to get the public involved and elicit the information that you were looking for.
We put up the survey, and within 72 hours, we had something like 4,500 responses.
Yeah. Every time I say that number to somebody there that has, especially in the academic world, they're like, whoa.
It was crazy. We were.
What did you guys? What did the students
we hope we would get 100, and then 2 days later, there were all of these.
I mean, people were really cared about what was going on.
It showed how hungry people were for information.
Yeah. The cool thing that was happening was that we were collaborating in really interesting ways. CBS, me as a CBS faculty, CBS students, we got other faculty involved because those 2 colleagues of mine actually.
And one of the things I like about this project here, and one of the things that we discussed as well, was this space can do so many things. So it's a collab thing, like we also talked about with Matt and Christian and Nick. It's should we do more collab events so we're not just.
There's a word here at BaneGaarden that I think says a lot. It's like cross-pollinating.
Yeah.
Like we can teach each other and we can help each other, and
that's very cool.
To drag a lot of good things up by working together.
Resilience for the industry is to educate, is to create a higher knowledge level within the industry. And it comes from all sectors, whether it's very interdisciplinary.
Yeah.
Understanding that. It's for us also future recruitments. It's about making job safety, that people don't think this is an industry where you get laid off like this, and then hence we're recruiting from a lesser good base of people. It's also highlighting and magnifying the weaknesses of our industry. So I think Bowline and this collaboration with CBS and discussions we are having is actually trying to focus on these weaknesses we already have in our industry.
Yeah, these issues have existed before.
But it's just magnified right now. Having this kind of outside pressure might just be the medicine we need to adapt.
And that's the conversations that CBS really wants to be involved with and help facilitate, because what we're planning to do is throw a series of workshops this fall where we bring people from the restaurant industry together with academics from CBS and together with other executives and leaders from other industries to pose some of these hard questions about both how this industry could be run better, but also how this industry can teach things that other industries need to learn about.